Hi guys, welcome to our Recruitment Recommends Q&A session. I'm joined here today with our amazing recruitment team here at Teachaway. Rather than introduce them myself, I think it would be great if I let them do the talking.
Hi everyone, I'm Elaine. I'm the recruitment manager here at Teachaway. I work with the team on a lot of different programs, but one of my main focuses is working with the UAE Ministry of Education and a lot of other great UAE government programs too. Something super exciting that is also brand new is actually working with the UK government schools. So I'm sure we're going to get an opportunity to talk a little bit about that program too.
Awesome.
And my name is Nicole. I'm a placement coordinator here at Teachaway. I'm currently working on the Explore program. So that's specifically we're recruiting teachers to teach abroad in China.
Amazing. So the whole purpose of today's session is to, let them kind of hear from you directly, okay? And so in order to give some tips and pieces of advice so that we can help them get the perfect teaching job abroad. Okay. So let's kind of start at the beginning then. I guess, is there a minimum amount of information you require from potential candidates before they can apply for a position through our website? Elaine?
Yeah, there definitely is a minimum amount of information we do require. The way the recruitment team looks at it, I think, and I'm sure Nicole will agree, the more information we have about you, your experience, your education, the better. It just gives us all the information we need to review your application and to see, if you're going to be a good fit for the program you've applied for, and if you don't work out for that one, maybe we can recommend another program. So in terms of the minimum information, I'm thinking, let us know what your education is, your qualifications, if you're a certified teacher, if you hold a TEFL course, and then of course if you've got any teaching experience in the classroom or not. With those kind of bits and pieces of information, I think that gives us enough. Whenever you register with us through the Teachaway website, there's an option to actually upload your resume and to also fill out some basic details on your Teachaway profile. So if you can do those two things, that's really all we need to see if you're a great candidate for the role.
Yeah, definitely agree with Elaine on that, and especially as most of you do put your resume on there, making sure that you add your certificates and add all your qualifications on the teacher profile as well. It's fairly important for us to be able to see all your credentials.
Because ultimately, the more information that they give us, that enables us to kind of look at what specific jobs are most suitable for them. Yeah, we can recommend them to them.
Yeah, for sure. And the different programs we work with, they all have different requirements. Well, some of them are similar, but some of them are different. So if you don't match the requirements for a position you have applied for, it's not to say that another program couldn't be a perfect fit. So the more information we have, it just makes our job a little bit easier to kind of find that right position for you.
So again, ultimately, fill out that profile and we will be able to look through and send you the most suitable jobs and positions that we have.
Exactly.
Amazing. So other than job requirements or qualifications then, is there anything specific you like to see from an applicant? For maybe the destination you represent, is there any kind of requirements for each one of the destinations that you manage?
Good question.
Right now, currently, since I'm working with the Explore program, one of our most important requirements is for you to have a bachelor's degree. So always making sure that, again, as we were mentioning earlier, that's, of course, we'll look through your resume, but that all that information is listed on the profile itself. So it's very straightforward. Your information is there, and then we'll be able to reach out to you quicker.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just to go on that as well, some of the schools we work with, they are, very kind of tech savvy schools. They've got a lot of kind of technical resources. So if you have experience working with different technology in the classroom, that could be something really good to add. And a lot of teachers mightn't think, or a lot of candidates mightn't think to add that to their resume, so to speak. Another thing to consider is we are an international recruitment agency. So obviously we work with schools in many different countries. So with that, a lot of the students you're going to be working with are going to be second language learners. So if you do have experience, again, working with second language learners, highlight that. It's really good for us to know, and it's definitely something that the the schools will be, excited to hear about too.
Amazing. So talking about that, could you give me an example of someone really excelling at their application? Is there anyone that maybe sticks in your mind who think, right, that is a perfect application?
Ooh, perfect application.
I think a perfect application would be even if you look at your profile at the top, it says 95 to 100% completed. If you have that, basically that means you have your picture, you have your certificate, your degrees, all the dates, the grades, the subject levels, and everything is completed. And as soon as you see a profile that's completed, it's so much easier for us to really fully understand the experience of the candidate and their qualifications.
Yeah, for sure. Like the more complete the profile, definitely the better. And as Nicole mentioned there, if you've got your picture uploaded, something to remember that these schools are receiving, you know, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of applications every year. And whenever they're reviewing an application and they, you know, it's easy for them to kind of, you know, remember a really strong candidate that they've interviewed if the picture is there. Yeah. It just makes it easier for them to remember, you know, who's who and who really stood out in their interview as well.
Amazing. And so moving from like the application stage then into kind of the interview process, you know, what do you like to see from teachers that may not be completely obvious in terms of interviews?
I don't know. This is, it's not probably an obvious one, but I'll say it anyway. Just whenever we speak to somebody on the phone and they are eager to speak with us, they've applied for a program, they've done their research before the call, they've read the FAQ document that we've sent them, and they're just, you know, professional and they treat it as an interview. This is just the kind of initial screening stage or the pre-screen telephone interview, but it is an interview at the end of the day, and we want to see, you know, how enthusiastic you are about the position that you've applied for, how you know, eager you are, and you know, that's going to translate from the call, and then we're going to kind of be able to, you know, give the school a more in-depth insight into you as an educator and how your actual pre-screen went as well.
Exactly, and just to add on that as well, Celine mentioned professionalism, so also being prepared. So if we have emailed you asking for several documents, make sure that you send those before the pre-screen interview. For example, if it's a teaching certificate, just the fact that we have that on there so we have the dates accurately. So for a lot of the programs, especially for salary purposes, it's going to be really important knowing when those certificates are first issued. So if we've asked for any of those documents, to get those to us beforehand so we can upload them to your profile.
Yeah, for sure.
So for the sake of balance then, what common mistakes do you regularly see that can be fatal to the success of an application or an interview?
I would say leaving off information that is, you know, crucial that for us to actually review your application, because many times it could just be, you know, somebody's resume. They mightn't have included information that we would deem to be really important. So sometimes people will leave off their dates. So we can say, oh, you're a math teacher, that's fantastic. You're working at this school, that's great. But we don't know how long you've been working there. So little things like that, they seem very simple and straightforward, but you would be surprised. Some people do leave dates of employment off, so that's a really big one. And I think when Nicole was mentioning earlier, the importance of having, you know, your certs qualifications all listed there, so we can really see what you've done and what you've achieved so far.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. And because sometimes, of course, we take a look at the resume, but sometimes even if, for example, if you just got your TEFL certificate a couple of months ago, but you had submitted your profile before that and then that's not updated, if we don't see that on there, you technically do not qualify even though you have that qualification. So
it's a fluid thing, right? It should be updating as you go along.
Exactly, yeah. Because we're lucky that a lot of the educators we work with, you know, they may have registered with us 5 years ago. We helped them secure a position, a 2-year contract, they finished, and then they came back to us and they want to say, okay, Elaine, I want to go somewhere else. Where can I go? Keep updating your profile as you have that experience, or if you do a new cert or you've secured a position overseas. That experience is so valuable, and we want to learn, you know, as much about you as we can. And as you say, it's fluid, so keep updating it, and it's all going to add to your application.
So moving on then, going for application, we've sort of spoken about interview process then. I think something that never was really discussed is like the type of behavior once maybe someone has accepted an offer or has been given an offer. So like, what do you kind of like to see from candidates when an offer has been made?
Good question. I would say, so at Teachaway, we do pride ourselves on preparing and informing our candidates as much as possible. So regardless of what program you've applied for, we do our very, very, very best to give you all the information. So the whole offer and everything is very transparent from the outset. So with that in mind, whenever somebody is presented with an offer, we like to think that we've done a good enough job to give them the information they require to actually know and to accept that with utter confidence. So some of the things at that stage we like to see is just that people, they've got that trust in their placement coordinator or the Teachaway representative they're working with, and when they do accept an offer with one of our schools, we take that as a serious commitment to, you know, Teachaway and to our partner school. So if somebody was to accept an offer with the school and then to start applying and seeing what else is out there, you know, we don't appreciate that just because it's not professional, and we take that as a serious commitment. So that's one thing that kind of would stand out for me.
Exactly. And deadlines too. I mean, if the school has given you a deadline for signing that offer, make sure that you do follow up with that. Of course, it's a huge decision for you to make that. You need to speak to your family, speak to your loved ones, but making sure that you're in constant communication with the school and with us, just to keep it professional and make sure that you don't miss those deadlines.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
That's great.
And just to
Nope,
just jump
please.
in there as well, sorry, I'm a chatterbox. Just that we're here like every step of the way. If you do get an offer and you do have those last minute questions, which we expect, don't be afraid to reach out to us, because really that's what we're here for. Any questions that, you know, you're unsure of, maybe things are listed in a different way on an offer letter, that's what we're here for. And our the recruitment team here, we're really, you know, well versed in different offer letters in different countries. So if there are any questions at that offer stage, you know, be sure to ask us and don't be afraid.
Yeah, so don't be silent, reach out to you guys.
Yeah, because some people, they, you know, they might be unsure of some things or have an allowance or a bonus or a benefit is listed, and because we've worked on the programs for a long time and we've you know, talked other candidates through this process, we're really the best kind of source of information for a lot of things.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So to conclude, I think it'd be really nice just to maybe speak a little more about each one of your sort of destinations that you represent, and perhaps kind of what type of teacher that is suitable for then.
Nicole, do you want to go?
Yeah,
or-
sure. I can go first. So for the Explore program, we're mostly focusing on single teachers or teaching couples. So definitely looking at the new grad that's hopefully wanting to go teach abroad. They're not yet fully certified. Perhaps they have a TEFL. Also with this program, it's great because a lot of the schools, it will depend on the school, but a lot of the schools will give the opportunity of a TEFL reimbursement.
Amazing.
So you'd be able to get your career started that way. From personal experience, I can let you know, before I became a certified teacher, I moved and I taught abroad, and it was such a great experience, not only to be able to travel, but to realize that that was the career path that I wanted to take. And I taught abroad, and that's a great opportunity for you to start when you're not really sure if you want to go back home and get certified.
I've been there.
Definitely. So that's kind of with the Explore program, we're looking for very energetic, enthusiastic, either single teachers or teaching couples that are interested in wanting to start an adventure teaching abroad.
Amazing.
So it's fair to say for the Explorer program that they do accept and welcome people without any teaching experience. They want to give them that kind of pathway to actually getting in the classroom.
And what's great about the program itself too is that for the most part you will get almost 2 weeks of paid training in Beijing. You'll be able to meet new people, so you'll be able to make friends once you arrive there. If you have not taught abroad, you'll know that that's something the people that you're with are going to be basically what are making your experience as well. So you'll get trained there, and there's a possibility of getting your TEFL reimbursed. So definitely a great way to start.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
And then with, I guess it's good to note that we do work with so many fantastic programs, like government programs, private schools, international schools, public schools. And if we did want to talk about them all day, which we could, we would be here for a long time. So I'll just chat about a few. The UAE Ministry of Education, that's a really fantastic partner for us. They have so many different vacancies. The majority of them are for certified teachers, so like state certified teachers. So your kind of usual positions like math, science and so on. But then they also have very recently got a number of other teaching opportunities for graduates. So those positions are actually for people, they don't need to have a teaching license or a teaching background. So we've got for English graduates, physical education, life skills, health science, and computer science. So
amazing. So if someone has studied that subject area related to this, then there is teaching opportunity for them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
And this is so exciting and just fantastic for Teach UA and for our candidates as well, because previously a lot of teachers that would have wanted to, or even candidates that would have wanted to, you know, teach in the UAE, they would have been told, I'm sorry, you don't qualify, you need 2 years certified experience, you need a teaching license, and you know, this and this. Whereas these positions are so exciting because you don't need to have that teaching background. So you just need to hold the bachelor's degree in the relevant area, and they'll actually provide really extensive training for these new teachers for the first 2 months during the summer. So that's going to really equip you with the skills you need before you actually go into the classroom and start your own
So maybe
class.
if you created a profile a couple of years back and perhaps wasn't something suitable for you then, don't be afraid, revisit, and there could be a great teaching opportunity abroad for you.
No, for sure, for sure. So definitely worth checking out the UAE Government Schools featured program on the Teach UA website. That's where you're going to see all the positions listed. That's going to include the experienced teacher roles, but then also the graduate roles as well. So the word graduate is in the title, so you'll be able to see which ones you could potentially apply for. And then we also are working with some other fantastic UAE government programs, so at VEDI and then also IAT as well. So they're looking for a number of certified and experienced educators. They're more at the kind of high school level and above, but really, really fantastic programs there too. And then the one that I kind of mentioned briefly earlier was actually the UK government schools, not the UAE.
So the UK.
The UK, United Kingdom. And that's a really exciting opportunity for us. We have a lot of interest from educators over here in North America and Canada. But again, with they're accepting applications from experienced teachers, but also from new graduate teachers too. So there's really so many different opportunities that people can apply for and be considered for, you know, depending on your experience.
Yeah. So the main takeaway from that then is we have a huge range of teaching jobs, and it doesn't matter, you know, level of teaching experience, there should be something there if, you know, as you said, if you're an enthusiastic and flexible person looking to go and teach abroad.
Yeah.
We have a job.
Yeah, and we really do. We really, really do. And that's just a few programs we've highlighted. I think if you are watching this, you're on the Teach UA website, I'm sure. But you can just have a look around and just see the different options, different locations, and the different types of programs and the requirements. They really, really do vary depending on the program. So if you're ever in doubt and you want to know more, like what could I actually qualify for? You know, reach out to us. We're always here to help, and we have the tools to kind of see, you know, what would be a good fit for you, I would say.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm sure there's some amazing information there for people. And as Elaine just said, if you guys do have a question and maybe there's something we haven't answered here, feel free to reach out to you and we'll be happy to help. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.